Hi, I'm Sherry Damaris and welcome to Macro Magic. And today I have with me Birgit Luders, who has been on the show previously talking about iridology, and we had such a great response. Everyone wanted to get their eyes red. And color therapy. And she also is an herbalist and a wellness coach. So today we dragged her into the kitchen to talk about some springtime dishes that are really, really helpful for the liver. So welcome, Birgit. I'm so excited to have you.
I like what you said, dragged me, because that's really true, because usually I do not cook in public. I cook in the back, and I tell my clients how to cook.
Well, this is good having you on the show. It's a great example. And today, this is beautiful. You're going to make a quinoa salad.
Right. So what I wanted to bring to the audience and to you is, and we are shifting now from our fatty, winter, heavy kind of diet into spring. And so the first thing that I grew up in Austria is dandelions. And so I was thinking, okay, what could I show? And so I wanted to show a little bit of an earthy, hearty kind of salad, which has dandelions then in there, and baby kales and baby spinach. So the first little sprouts, they're coming out soon, right? And then have a little bit quinoa in there. And that's why I thought like that would be a great way. It's simple to do and incorporates all the flavors for our liver detox, right?
Yeah, and you know, in the summertime or when the heat comes out, the sun comes up, quinoa is very bitter, and that bitter taste really helps the heart. So you've got like some really supportive energy with the liver and the heart, which are both of the two organs that start to become more active when the weather turns warm.
Perfect, and that's exactly the reason why a lot of people have allergies right now in that season right now in March or April, because our liver have gotten a little bit stagnated, right, from all our fatty and sugar. I mean, I'm guilty as well. So it's good now to help the liver to cleanse itself, so we don't create that much allergies, correct? So the big question is always like, how do you cook quinoa, right? And how do you say
it?
I said quinoa. What do you say?
Quinoa.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So this is
Not Kiona.
No, yeah, exactly. So it's very simple. The ratio is 1:2. So if you have 1 cup of quinoa, which I measured right here, so it's 1 cup, then I have 2 cups of water. So it works exactly like rice, right? So I'm gonna pour in my water. That's all what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm a simple cook, but I'm healthy cook, so that's very important to know. So 1 cup, and then all what you do is then just bring it into, boiling, and then you turn down the heat, and it actually cooks within 15 minutes.
And you want to put a pinch of salt in there too.
Yes, and for that actually you have a really good salt. This one is what I like. I don't know if you know about it, but it's like a lava salt.
Black
So
salt.
it's very, very kind of earthy. And so what I'm putting...
And also your quinoa is mixed of white and...
bread and...
Yeah, so you can get the plain, all white quinoa, or you can get the red and white.
And that's exactly how it works. It's very, very simple. And I'm always a little bit running late with dinner. So for me, 15 minutes cooking is awesome for quinoa. And since we're on this show right now, I would like Sherry to help me with the dressing.
Sure.
So of course you can take your own home bought tahini dressing, but I'm planning to make our own tahini dressing.
And this is tahini.
Yeah. Perfect. So 4 tablespoons of that. And I like tahini because it's sesame seeds, roasted. And sesame seed actually is high in calcium. You probably knew that too, right?
Very good for the bones.
Exactly. So it's not the dairy that gives us the calcium. You can literally just have like tahini in hummus, right? You can have it. And also in a dressing. So the second thing that we have is put a little bit of the lemon in. So have 1 lemon squeezed out here. Then we put a little bit of a maple syrup in, which was 1 teaspoon. Then just like soy sauce, 1 teaspoon is that. And then I do 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Again, apple cider vinegar is great for alkalinity, cleansing, detoxing, and then 3 tablespoons of water. And that's it. See how easy that is? And that's exactly how I cook. easy.
And tahini you can use in so many dressings and sauces.
Yes, exactly. And that's why, like I said, apple cider vinegar is, some people swear by it. They take it in the morning and then they kind of think that their metabolism is enhanced. I'm not quite sure about that with the metabolism, but I know for sure it again helps detoxification of the liver, and it also actually is alkaline.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they eat very acidic, not the macrobiotic cuisine, but if you eat like more like meat or cheese or lots of grains, then you want to have apple cider vinegar on it. So the next one we're going to do is, here's our pre-made already quinoa. So all what we do is we're going to put a little bit of quinoa on the salad here of my greens. I'm not going to use all of it, but you can use all of it. I just like a little bit more of like the taste from my salad.
And I
That's
like
too
all
much
your
grains.
ingredients is raw, because as you move into summer and spring, your body doesn't need that much heat. So we cook our food for a really long time in the winter and the fall because our body needs heat. But if you're cooking, you know, long-term dishes on the stove, you don't want a hot pot of chili in the middle of summer, things like that, you're going to start craving sweets and something to relieve the liver.
And that's exactly why I like carrots. I shredded them a little bit, you know, on a grater. Then a little bit oranges that I cut in little pieces. It's so colorful, isn't it? And cranberries, we all know, is great for your kidneys and for your bladder. So that's amazing. And then here, this is one of my favorites, pumpkin seeds. Not only because I'm from Austria and we have so much pumpkin seed oil there, we do really.
Really?
It is so high in zinc, and right now with the immune system and COVID, we always want to support our immune system. So I think you can never have too much.
So these you roasted, right?
Yes.
Okay. On
So they're
just a cast iron pot.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just simply like this. Like I said, it's so high in zinc. And zinc is one of the most important vitamins and minerals for your immune system.
And with the cranberries, you got to make sure that they're not have cane sugar in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they are
just fruit
sweet.
juice on
Yeah.
them.
And then we just drizzle a little bit on our dressing, and this was it.
Do you want me to use it all, or?
A little bit,
Okay.
not too much, right? And we're just gonna flip it a little bit.
It's really nice with the dressing. It's hard to eat, you know, grains just dry.
Yeah.
So it's really nice dressing.
It looks so colorful. This is what I like. So when I have my wellness coaching program with my clients always say, well, which category of diet do you belong? And I said, the diet with the most color.
Oh, the color of the rainbow.
So here we go. So
That's
if you really see
gorgeous.
that is amazing. How long did it take us? Like pretty much like 7 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and you can always, you know, make extra quinoa, leave it over night, and make a quinoa burger or do something else with it.
Yes, that's why it's so easy. Like in the winter, I probably have more quinoa in there because I like it more heavy. In the springtime, I already go more into the spring leaves, you know, and have a little bit less grains in my salad.
Arugula is nice too to put in there.
Awesome, thank you. So that's our first thing.
And you have 2 exciting books out,
Yes.
which I can't believe since your last show that you've produced 2 books.
I know. Once I was grounded from flying, you know, and I couldn't go on all my speaking engagements, I started writing.
That's
so
amazing.
there's some good things happening from COVID.
Yeah.
So this was my first project that I was part of. It's called Unstoppable Women, Overcoming Mediocrity. And so I have a chapter in there where I literally say, what in the world is iridology, right? And I came to your show and talked about how you can see the genetic strengths and weaknesses in your iris color and structure. So when I do my wellness coaching program, I actually take the picture from the eyes, and I can adjust what healing diets each person exactly needs. So when I do my wellness coaching, then I know if this person has a little bit more liver issues, then I kind of put her more into the category of supporting the liver, the stagnation, if they have more sugar issues. So, but in this book, it was more like a personal story as much, because most holistic people have a personal story to tell how we got into the healing arts, right? Either they have cured their own cancer. In my case, it was that I was quite very young when I lost my dad on pancreatic cancer. And so I was telling the story how I discovered that life is shorter as I thought when I was 26. And I was at my dad's funeral, and he just passed away within like 10, 12 weeks of being diagnosed, thinking he had gallstones. So for me, it was very important suddenly for me to know how to live healthy, you know, and find out the best assessment tool for my clients as an herbalist to, you know, help them to enrich their own health as a preventive care. And so that's the story in it.
That's so amazing that you're doing diagnosis, because in macrobiotics we do oriental diagnosis where we look at the face and the ears and the eyes and things like that. But you even go deeper with looking inside the eye, which is really fascinating.
And that's the story when I was going through the holistic therapies of learning everything as an herbalist. I happened to fall into iridology and realized, what in the world is that? And so that's the story. The story literally about me discovering iridology or iridology discovering me. Not quite sure. But yeah, so it actually became an Amazon bestseller because all the other women have a fantastic story. So each woman has its own story, how we got through some sort of pain into our mission, and it's just the same thing for me. So I'm happy.
And I remember talking to you. You have traveled all over the world as a flight attendant, worked on Wall Street first, fell into iridology, and then completely changed your whole orientation to studying health. So I just really thought that that was an amazing story.
Well, thanks. Yeah. So that was one of my projects that I did because I was sitting at home and, you know, didn't have too much flying going on and traveling going on, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to show another recipe, a detox cleansing drink, and talk about Birgit's other book.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it. Hip hop.
Casinos by the ocean.
Hip hop.
Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches. Solid rock. And everything in between.
Look in the window.
Now that's New Jersey. Plan your New Jersey trip at visitnj.org. Waves of fun. Nights of excitement. And a trail of memories. Now that's New Jersey.
This plus this equals this plus this and this. Don't drink and drive.
Listen, what will make your event simply beautiful? Is it your attire, your decorations, your entertainment? Well, join me, Alicia Simone, as I chat with some amazing vendors and clientele who will share their stories and images and their experiences. Right here on RVN TV, Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. and Wednesday at 4 p.m. It will be simply beautiful. See you then.
Welcome back. I'm Sherry Damaris, and I'm with Birgit Luters, and we're talking about not only her iridology practice and her wellness coaching, but also these beautiful dishes that she has designed for her clients after diagnosing them either through their eyes or through other methods that you use. And we did talk about your first book. Do you want to just share about your second book?
Yeah, so after this one came out, suddenly I got another offer. I didn't even know that there were so many offers to write chapters in books, and I was invited to be part of this great book. It's called 25 Tools for Happiness. So I thought that was a very interesting moment when she asked me if I want to be part of that, because I totally want to, because I see happiness when you're physically happy as well, right? So I asked, can I write whatever I want, and I got the okay. So in my chapter, again, it was how your iris, how iridology can see happiness through your eyes.
You're
Yes.
kidding.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And so the way I see it is that we have personality traits as well in the eyes. Remember that? So you can see if somebody is more like an overthinker or a type A personality, and then they have no time to actually, smell the roses, right? So I said in this book, if you have those little rings around the eyes, then maybe it's time to have to force yourself to take that 10-minute break and walk outside and see, nature. And I was also talking, I was also talking about that there are 3 layers of happiness, which is your physical happiness, your emotional happiness, and your spiritual happiness. And I went back in time and I thought to myself, when was I the most utterly happy without realizing, with no external possessions? And that was when I was a kid and at my grandmother's farm, and I was laying there eating, her fresh strawberries, and there were the bees, and I was just so utterly happy, because at that moment I realized that I had 3 layers of happiness. I was physically happy because I ate that good food. I was emotionally happy because my grandmother wasn't very controlled, so I could run around and do whatever I wanted at those 2-3 hours in her farm. And the third was spiritually, because as a child, you still have this belief that whatever you come up with, you can achieve, right? That utterly manifestation is so strong. And so I thought you know what? That's exactly what I do with my clients. So I look into the eyes and I find out which happiness is a lower level. Is it the physical? Is it the spiritual? Is it the emotional? And what happens then is with the physical, that's why I was coming in with the liver detox right now, is when we have stagnated liver, right? I think even Chinese medicine knows that, then we have suppressed anger too attached to the liver, right? And then attach the gallbladder to that, then we're in bitterness. So a lot of times I suggest to my clients when I change their diet to have a morning break the fast. Breakfast actually means breaking your fast. Once I put that together, because in the German language it doesn't work so good, that's genius, break the fast. I was thinking, for the best thing is to start your days if you're sluggish and you're in the morning and now the allergies come in, and then you would eat your heavy keto diet.
Eggs and bacon and meat, sausage.
Yeah, then you are more stagnant again with your organ cleansing. So why not starting with a great liver detox smoothie? And it is so simple. That's why we are here right now. So the way it starts is that we need beet again, right? Beets are so great for the liver. So you do have to have a raw beet, and you just juice it in a juicer. So I pre-did that. So all we need is just a little shot glass in the morning of this beet, then fresh apple, but I also put in fresh turmeric, right? And that was another thing, for the longest time, I only found the powder. When I finally saw the real thing, I couldn't go back anymore. So I choose it too, and I think you told me when you touch it.
Yes, it will stain your hand. It will completely henna your hand.
Yeah.
So be careful when you're using it.
Remember why I'm red and yellow right now? Because the beets does the same too. I found out that you found it out. I was once cutting my beets, and then I ran around oh my God, what's going on? So we want to put that in there so that already is anti-inflammatory for your joints. Beets is good for the liver. And then because I'm already in this anti-inflammatory kind of smoothie, then of course I want cherries, right? Because cherries, this is just the frozen cherries because they're not in season right now, but they're coming. So cherries is good for gouts and arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis.
Any kind of inflammation.
Right? So I just kind of put those a little bit in. And then the best berries that I like are the blueberries because they have low glycemic index. So it doesn't spike the sugar. So sometimes my clients, they're like, can I replace it with strawberry? I'm like, no. And they think it's berries, but it has a high fiber, and that's why I like it too. And so I'm just gonna put a few in there so we don't have to.
And berry season's coming out soon, right?
Yes.
In May, June, July.
Do you remember that there's always one berry in season? There was the Aché berry, was so much getting attention, and I was so upset for my blueberry, right? Because it didn't sound that exotic.
Yes.
And then of course we want greens again. So in this case, again, any greens that are like in season right now, I just got baby spinach, now just stuff a little bit in there. So you could say you have a salad now for breakfast, right?
A whole meal.
A whole meal, right? And then because I'm so eager to get a lot of nutrients in a small amount with low calories to my clients, I put also a powder of green superfood powder in there. So there's so many now in the market. Before that, like 10, 15 years ago, very rare you could find it good. But this is just simple ones. It doesn't really matter which one as long as it's organic, I think.
As long as it doesn't have sugar, chemicals,
Yes.
or anything in it.
And so I'm just gonna put a little powder in there. So now we got barley grass in there, wheatgrass. Spirulina is my favorite thing. Spirulina is the only alkaline protein. Do you know that?
Yes, and it really supports the liver.
So for a lot of clients of mine, they're like, well, where do I get my protein? When I put them on a healing diet, it's less meat, of course, and no dairy. They are so concerned about where do I get my protein? Well, right here is now 25 grams of protein in there, right? So
And also grains themselves have protein in it.
yeah, like quinoa.
Plant protein.
Like we talked about the salad. Quinoa
Has a lot of protein.
And did you know it's a complete protein? Because we get a little beaten up in the vegan world that we don't have complete proteins, right? So no, that's not true anymore. And then almond milk unsweetened, organic, I think. Okay, so that's really where it is. And I had a little lemon squeezed in my apple juice too, just for the alkalinity. And all what we do then is
And sour taste, by the way, really helps the liver so much.
usually there is a lid that I screw then on it, right? And then I kind of turn this whole thing around. Looks like this, right? And because I didn't want to make so much noise or get an extension cord or anything, I already blended it up. But you can see the color is quite ugly sometimes. So it has great colors right now, as you can see. But when you went to art school and you put too many colors together, it turns what? Brown. So unfortunately, this gets a little bit brown right now. See that? But don't. What's this guy say in English? Judge the book by its cover. So it's actually really tasty because cherries are really rich and sweet. So once you have cherries in there and blueberries, everything else is covered up.
Yeah, and
Right?
like we said, all these ingredients really help the liver and the heart. The berries help the heart, the bitterness of the berries, and then the liver. Liver loves sour taste. So the lemon and the berries actually are sour too, and then the.
That's exactly why I'm always going for colors, and I also in my happiness chapter for spiritual happiness. Actually, I was talking how last time when we talked about energy vibration, color also vibrates our body inside if we eat it. So you know how the chakras have different colors. So I always want to make sure that when my clients kind of eat the daily diet, it's not so much for me to count the perfect percentage of protein and fat. I really feel like we need to cover the base of the colors.
Yeah,
right?
the colors of the rainbow.
Right, and there's root chakra is red, so that's the beads, which goes again back into the organ, the major filter organ is the liver. And so with all the layers, then as you can see, we can
And
pretty
plus,
much...
like you said, it brings you more happiness
Yeah.
to see a colorful plate. We used to look at kids' school lunches and think, oh, they're so brown, you know, like when you add all that color, it whets your appetite and you
Yes.
get hungrier more and you feel better. You feel in a better mood after you eat it.
Of course, I understand when somebody has like emotional problems, you know, somebody is sad from like somebody passed away. It's very hard to eat healthy at that moment because you don't want to think about that. But that's when you really need to kind of turn back to yourself and say, okay, I'm going to try my best to feed myself so at least I feel physically happy if I'm already emotionally really torn down, right? And that gets you in the spiral then towards depression because then you're not eating well, you're not feeling well, you don't have a good energy because everything is about the vibration energy, right? And now you're spiritually energy down too, so it's very hard to come out of this when...
It's like a loop that
Yes.
continues.
And all we really need is colors in our life.
That's
Right.
beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Well, what are some of the other things now? If people call you or reach out to you, what kind of services are you offering now?
So for the last year, because I didn't do too much traveling and went to the national expos or international expos, I did a lot of wellness coaching because I realized when I didn't have so much time to coach clients, they didn't have that much success. Because it really is about the accountability. Even if I tell you what is the best diet for you from the assessment of the eyes, you do need a call from me once a week. Not Sherry. Sherry doesn't need it. Trust me. But people like us, we need to have a phone call. So what I started is I give my clients the exact diet plan a week ahead. So they have time now on the weekends to plan, do the groceries, and then really follow. Monday I eat this, Tuesday. So I take away all the thinking because sometimes they're just as busy as we are with families and house and job. So to run around and finding recipes that works in this field takes a lot of effort and people get kind of upset. So in this case, I give them the exact wellness coaching program for like 4, 8, or even 12 months. And I had incredible results. Like the average weight loss, if people need to lose weight, is 2 pounds per week.
So they don't necessarily have to have an iridology
No.
appointment with you first. They can
No.
just simply call you for a wellness appointment.
Yeah.
But then if they have iridology, you can follow up with a wellness appointment.
Yes, yeah. And so that's I actually got an award for 2017, 18, 19, and 20 for Best Wellness Program.
Yes, and that's such exciting news because it was in our area, and I was
Yes.
thinking, oh my gosh, they're acknowledging your great work. Congratulations.
Especially like, you know, promoting plants and fruits.
Yes, yes. So how could we need to wrap up, but how can people reach you?
So birgitcare.com is my website for that program for wellness coaching and iridology and consultation. Then I also have a YouTube channel that's called The Modern Iridologist, and I think I told you about that. I was showing how quick you can choose, even if you have a sleep. Remember? So when people, like, you only need 2 or 3 minutes to really turn the juicer on. And that's what I show on my YouTube channel, actually. It's called The Modern Iridologist.
You get up in your pajamas,
Yeah.
and then you go down and
I
juice
show you,
and time
no
it.
makeup, nothing, and I'm choosing away.
And then how can people order your books?
Yeah, they can find us on my website too, birgitcare.com, or you can find it on Amazon actually. Both of my books are on Amazon right now, and both actually became a bestseller, Amazon bestseller. So
my
really,
gosh.
I can say my year 2020 was actually phenomenal.
A great example of what COVID lockdown can do for you.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Birgit, for coming on the show. We love always to have you, like your iridology show, your show on color therapy, and now wellness in the kitchen. I can't get over, like, you're so talented. So come join us again. And everyone keep healthy out there, and make sure to join us for another episode of Macro Magic.
Thanks. Bye.